Skirt, skirt. So, it has been a long time. I cannot defend myself. It's just been a long time. But I'm back today. I've had my iPhone 6 here that I'm recording audio on for 2 years. So I reviewed it. And I said it was okay in the review, which I mean it was. It's still, like, it works. It's not as impractical as an iPhone 4. But I have since advanced to new phone. Basically, I have a new phone, and it's the new iPhone SE. First of all, this is just beautiful. I don't know how I feel about the centered Apple logo, but just the glass, I love the color. I love how no matter what color you get, the front screen is black. I mean, the white screen, it just makes the screen look so much smaller and the bezels are noticeably larger. Now, in terms of specs, it's just basically an iPhone 8. I think it has an iPhone 11 processor, and everything else is very similar to the iPhone 8. So iPhone 8 cases will work with this, and I'm pretty sure that is part of what brings down the price. If they can manufacture the same body, then they don't have to spend money making new parts, and therefore it does not cost as much. Most people are worried about the battery life. I've found that the battery life is pretty okay, to be honest. If I go into battery here, look at some statistics. Okay, today I started my phone out on 100%. I've used it for 4 hours and 17 minutes, and I have 53%. Today I've watched mix of YouTube, Instagram, just YouTube and Instagram. And honestly, YouTube will suck your battery out. So I would say this is honestly pretty good battery. I think even though the battery hasn't gotten that much bigger, the battery management has gotten better. If I compare that to my iPhone 6 here, I don't use this one as much now. This is just kind of my alarm phone. After an hour, from 50%, you go to like 20 in, yeah, an hour and a half. So that would be a rate, this would be a rate of, I need to do math. I need paper for that. So if you have 8 hours on YouTube and Instagram, from 100 to 0, 4 hours, 50% in 4 hours, do 25% in 2 hours. The SE would have a rate of about 17% an hour in that case. No, wait, 17 is half of 34. Wait, what's half of 25?
That would be 12.4.
Okay, never mind. I'm just bad at math. My SE has a rate of battery usage on YouTube and Instagram about 12% an hour, and my iPhone 6 has closer to 20%. So that is a difference. I have noticed when using this over this that this just doesn't last as long. I always need to plug it in. So this is just the phone I use for alarms now. I'm sure the 10R and the 11 and 11 Pro Max, like all of that is better, but this isn't bad. Unless you use your phone a crazy amount without being able to charge it, the battery should not sway you away from buying the SE if you want to buy that otherwise. Now, the main thing that I love about this phone is its fastness, and that's probably not going to be a main selling feature for everyone else because most people are probably coming from phones that are similarly fast, but the iPhone 6 has noticeable delays, specifically when opening the weather channel. Like, it takes a solid 10 seconds for my iPhone 6 to open the weather channel, whereas my SE is there instantaneously. Also, one thing to note is that the iPhone SE is a lot heavier than the iPhone 6. It's not a big difference if you're just picking up the SE. You don't notice that it's heavy. You don't notice it until you pick up an iPhone 6 in comparison. Also, one thing to note is that the screen is way better on the SE. You can't really tell. It was upside down, that's why. You can't really tell. But it is. Just to note. And Touch ID is so much better on this phone. Just everything is better. It's smoother, it's faster. I mean, there's not really any main selling features to this phone. There's no gimmicks, there's no big camera. And I'd say the camera is fine. It's definitely better than the iPhone 6's camera. It only has one camera in the back and one camera on the front. So if you're someone who needs telephoto or who needs a wide angle lens on your phone, and that is very important to you, I wouldn't consider buying this, but I mean, most people buying this probably aren't gonna care. Like me, like I appreciate something that's nice enough and nicer than my 6, but I don't use it that often. I just use it to take photos of my cat, mainly. Here's a demonstration of portrait mode, and here's where portrait mode fails. The gimbal he's holding is too close to the camera, so it recognizes it as not the subject and blurs it, which is to be expected. Lastly, here's a photo of my cat I took in low light conditions with my iPhone 6. Yes, this was zoomed in digitally, and now here's the same photo with the same amount of zoom, same light, that I took with my iPhone SE. Yeah. It's just a phone for people who don't want to think about buying a phone. They don't really care too much. They want the good price and they want that good Apple experience. You know the phone's gonna last a long time, assuming you don't shatter it. The front or the back for that matter, it's just going to perform well. It's not too difficult to use. It's just the Apple experience. I'm definitely liking this phone. I still need to put in a wallpaper. Like, who uses this wallpaper? So in conclusion, I just think it's a really good option for anyone who wants a smaller footprint but updated specs in that smooth, buttery Apple feel. Okay, so that is it. I will see you hopefully sometime before the next 8 months. But I mean, with me, you never know, so